Shabbat Shalom. We are now a day after Pesach. We ended the 7 days of Hamakso. Pesach is a Hamoedim festival at appointed times, and which has really two sides. One is the Pesach lamb, or the Pesach sacrifice. We call it the Pesach Sachta, the Sabach, the sacrifice. And then that's one day, on the 15th, of the day when we eat the Pesach. And then the rest, 7 days, we are not allowed to eat leavened bread. And this is basically what the Torah tells us. They got the description of the first Passover. And let me tell you, I always say we can never, ever repeat the first Passover. What we do is a tizkor or a memorialize this time to remember something very special. And this what is special is about the deliverance of the people of Israel from slavery. And we need to understand slavery not only in the sense of the physical slavery, but in general, the whole slavery, spiritual and physical. Because if we do not understand slavery in that sense, we will never be able to understand what really slavery is all about it. Now, you have 1 day of the Paschal lamb and 7 days of the unleavened bread. Sadly enough, through the times, we have added so many things, so many traditions, traditions in themselves, I always say they have a positive side and has a negative side. The positive side is that sometimes help us to understand better or to elevate our desire to worship the true God. But what happens when you follow only tradition for the sake of tradition without understanding what is the real meaning? And here is the problem. Because to me, Pesach also has a lot of connotation about the Mashiach. And we need to understand that in a special way. Because it's deliverance. Deliverance from slavery, By the way, our worst slaveholders that we have is ourselves. Sometimes we don't understand. You go to any psychologist, any psychiatrist, they're going to tell you that you are your worst enemy. You are your worst slaveholder. Because you are the one that tells you, you cannot do this, you cannot do that, you cannot be this, you cannot do that, you cannot look in. And what do? It's basically you find your slave pushers, And who do you look? You look is your guidance, And here is where religions come into it. And the religious people enthrone themselves, and they start telling the rest of the world what you can do and what you cannot do, and not following the scriptures, following their own mesorah, their own tradition, their own understanding. This is the reason that the first step about getting out of slavery, it is to be yourself and read for yourself the scriptures. Don't let others read for you. Don't let others tell you what it says until you read it first and you're trying to understand it. Or they say that it's impossible for anybody to understand the scriptures. I want to tell you one thing. If that was my creator, the Borei Olam, blessed be his name, what unfair he will be. That only he's going to reveal to a very special group of people, and the rest of the people are going to live on darkness. Because that's what we teach. What we don't understand is the difference between choosing a people to carry on the message than to try to tell you that you need one person to explain to you all the time. And at the end, we're going to see with the prophets that he wants to say that you won't need to go anywhere. Why? Because he is going to plant the Torah in your heart. And you are going to be able to understand it. And that's what I call it divine revelation. And you know what? Each one of us, without exception, we have been made to the likeness and image of him. Blessed be his name. Each one of us, we have received the Ruach, the inspiration. His spirit, we have received his blood in us. He has breathed on us. And then each one of us, we have that divine sparkle, that divine light. Now, the problem is, what do we do with that light? That's what is important. It's not important. You know, we are so accustomed to blame the neighbors for everything. We are so accustomed to point our fingers to others. The reason what happened this to me is because so-and-so did that to me. Always, we are looking for excuses. We are the greatest human beings looking for excuses. We always pass the buck to somebody else. And this is the reason that the most popular religions are the ones that they teach you that somebody else is going to pay for your own problems. You know, it's very interesting that you start learning that, don't worry, you can do whatever you want to do. Somebody else innocent is going to pay for your sins. You're going to pay for your actions. And the Torah teaches you from the beginning, who sins, pay for that. You are responsible for your own actions, not the neighbor. Now, your own actions, they are evil, has consequences, and that consequences could go over other people, yes. But you are responsible. We are responsible for our own actions. That's what the Torah teaches you. And this is the reason that I want to tell you, I'm trying to follow biblical Judaism. Very different to rabbinical Judaism, or to theological Judaism, or this Judaism or the other Judaism. Let's go and look at the scriptures, and the scriptures speak for themselves. And you know that our Creator, the Borei Olam, He's always ready to talk to us. He is always want that relationship. You see, we need to understand why we were created in the beginning. You know, we were created only because in order that the Creator has fun with us. That was the reason that He created us. He created us in order to worship Him. That was the reason that He created us. You know, if that was the reason, He would have only the angels. No will, nothing. Only worship to Him. But He gave us something that has repeated over and over and over again. It's the word Bechira Hofshi. This free will. You and I, we have free will. You see? And what I mean free will, that you have the capability or the right to do whatever you want to do. Then you need to be making decisions. And that's what is so difficult for us. Because we want that somebody else make decision for us. I want to give you examples. Today in politics, look at nations. They're looking for leaders, strong leaders, they call it. And these strong leaders, they're suffocating me, they put me down, and they're going to tell me what I can do. When do I get up? When I go to bed. When I work, when I don't work. What I eat and what I don't eat. You know, look at Russia right now. They have chosen a strong man. They like a strong man to tell them what to do. They cannot decide for themselves. They don't care if that man is corrupt or not. No. I want somebody. Look at the Muslim countries. Look at the leaders. Look at the group of Hamas. Criminals. Terrorists. But they are happy. And they don't care to die for them. Because of the philosophy. Look at Venezuela. You know? They have a caudillo. And the people are starving and dying. But they are happy. Because they have strong men. Everywhere is the same thing. We need somebody to tell us. And religion does that. We deposit our souls to the hands of men. And we allow men to tell us what to do and what not to do. And I say, that is exactly the opposite of what Pesach means. Pesach, what it means is the Creator took us out from the spiritual and physical slavery. He gave us free will to do and start to do ourselves. And you know, if you study the scriptures, you're going to see that Israel didn't come out and very happy from slavery. Totally the contrary. They wanted to go back. Why? It's very scary to be on your own. It's very scary, to make your own decisions. You prefer that other people make your decision. You know why? Because in that way you are going to be able to blame them. It's not my responsibility. It's your responsibility. You told me. How many times here in this small community can people say, Rabbi, I can do this. Rabbi, I can do that. Rabbi, you know, what is my answer to them? What do you think? Oh, are you telling me that I may need to make the decision myself? Yeah. And they don't like it. Some of them, they leave. The same thing, the fight about the truth. This is very interesting. We have mentioned about groups, religious groups. We have rabbinical Judaism, we have Christianity, we have Islam. It's very interesting. They call it the sister religions. And some they call it the mother and the daughter religions. I don't care what is the family relationship. But the truth of the matter it is that there is only one true God. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was revealed to Israel in order that Israel be light to the world. Light, no darkness. And what they needed to bring? Something that was given just before Pesach. I'm sorry, just after Pesach. It's interesting. The Creator takes Israel out of the slavery and put it under Har Sinai, the mountain Sinai, and he's going to be doing the greatest revelation to the people, not only of Israel, but to the world. Because you see the manifestation of the Creator in a way that they can hear and they can sense His presence, and not only that, but they're going to hear the voice and they're going to be scared to death. The Creator chose a leader called Moshe Rabbeinu. And Moshe Rabbeinu is going to be the intermediary. In the way that he is going to only transfer what the Creator say. Not like many modern people say that was a story that was formed by the wisdom of the people, and they created the wonderful book called the Torah or the Bible. The Torah is a divine revelation. And Moshe Rabbeinu only was a mouthpiece. He didn't invent it, or he didn't make it up. Of course, it's a matter of faith. Okay, I have faith on that, because I believe in the Creator. But everybody gives to Moshe Rabbeinu the credit. And he was only an instrument. And this man, with that, has tried to make other men's gods. You have rabbinical Judaism, you have Christianity, and you have Islam. And all of them, they have the big leaders, no? Moshe Rabbeinu, Jesus Christ, Muhammad. Only that they talk in different ways what they are. Moshe Rabbeinu, Jesus Christ, and Muhammad They were only instruments of the Creator. That's what they were. Instruments. Human beings. Now, I won't get here in apologetics to tell you that this religion is better than the other religion, because to me, religions are religions. What is important is what the Creator came to do with us, to teach us and to make us. And he brought us out of like I say to you, the spiritual and the physical slavery. He brought us to have a relationship with him, intimate relationship. That's what the Torah is going to come about to show us. He gave us 10 words, 10 commandments. You know, this is the basic. With these 10 commandments, you can interpret everything. The rest is only situations. The 10 commandments are the basis for everything. If we follow the 10 commandments, we will have a better civilization. We have 3 ways. You know, when Yashuv was asked how do you can reduce or can put together sum up the whole Torah, and he said, love your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with your being, and love your neighbor as you love yourselves. That's the 10 commandments. How we start the 10 commandments? It starts saying, I am the God who created the world. I am the God who did this and make you. I am the God who make you to my likeness and image. How we start the 10 commandments? I am the God who brought you out of Egypt, out of slavery. And what did he did say? So, why? Because he's going to tell us that our God is the God of history. It's not a created thing like many ones, but he acted on time and history. He was there. He didn't need to prove himself in other ways. He needed to show them that he was with them. The generation of Israel, the first generation who left Israel, was a generation in which had not repeated again. They saw the Creator from the beginning to the end. He was the Anan, and he was the age. You know, he was the cloud, and she was the fire, and the day and night. And they saw him doing miracles to the people, and he participated with the people. And the people always had him. Today we don't have that. But we know what he has done. And then we need to go back to the beginning. And to understand the beginnings, we're going to need to go back to basics. And instead to lose ourselves in theological innuendos of human interpretations, let's go back to the basics of the scripture, the revelation of the Creator, that he wants to have a relationship with us, and he gives us the opportunity to accept it or to reject him. Look at how great is our God. Other gods force you to worship him. Other gods, other religions, you need to be under him, and you're going to be punished. This God is giving to you the opportunity that you make your own decisions. Because for our God is the God of responsibility. How we can understand that? If you cannot be responsible with yourself, how can you be responsible with others? Love God with all your heart, with all your mind, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. Now, the question is, what do you understand therefore love? Most of us, love is a wishy-washy feelings. You know, when you're a teenager and your heart starts palpitating when you saw somebody that you like it. That, you know, that's not love. That you can call it puppy love if you want it, but that's not love. Real love, ahava, means loyalty, to be loyal, to be faithful. And sometimes we go to the puppy love, you know. And my religion is how I feel. And feelings are the one that decided what do I believe. It has nothing to do with feelings. It has to do with reality. Our God is a God of reality. It's a God of responsibility. It's a God of doing it and now. We have so many hocus pocus, I call it, that we love the hocus pocus and we don't see the reality of ourselves and are being created as human beings and that we have responsibility to each other. How we can love our neighbor if we don't love ourselves? How can be faithful to others if we cannot be faithful to ourselves? How can we do good to others when we don't do good to ourselves? And if we cannot do good to ourselves, how we can worship the Creator? You see, everything is together. And that's what Yeshua came to tell us. You know, Pesach is celebrated by Christian people in the sense that they call it Easter. Even the term is a little bit spurious, you know, because it's Astarte, the goddess of fertility, you know, reproduction, you know, and Easter. And you know what the two greatest elements in Easter? Bugs Bunny and the eggs, you know. Why? Because of fertility. You know? And they don't know that they're going that way. In Judaism, you see now, rabbinical Judaism, and you see the Seder plate. They have added an egg. They call it the Hagigah. And we don't know if that jumping from Christianity to Judaism, or we don't know. The rabbis, they are trying to explain, because traditions, that's the problem with traditions. When you're trying to tell them to explain to you, they go totally theological instead to give you the truth. And the truth of the matter is, here we just read in chapter 16 of Devarim, Deuteronomy, verse 1. It says, when the months of the spring month, that's Nisan, that's the beginning of the year. The beginning of the year is first of Nisan, according to the Torah. Our tradition has changed. And my question to you is this: who do you believe? Do you believe men, or you believe the Creator? If the Creator say to you, this is blue, and somebody else come and say, no, it's not blue, it's red. And you know what is red? Because when the light comes through the prism and they change, what is it, the Creator? Blue. You say red. And you know what? 99% of us, we believe it's red. And we accept it. We are blinded. That's what Pesach means. To take you out of slavery. And the slavery is not only spiritual slavery, it's physical slavery. Are you a slave or your religion? Your religion has taken away your capability to think for yourself. What do you believe? This is something that we need to constantly search our souls, search ourselves. It's very easy to believe what other people tell you. I have been lately listening to a lot of debates among religions. You know what? Those people who debate are very interesting. They don't care about the truth. They care about to win the debate. And some of them are very smart, how they twist the words and how they do. You know, the Creator didn't come here to convince you and to deceive you. He came to bring you light. And then when something is too spurious, too twisted, get away from that. When you say a totally hocus pocus, get away from that. Because the Creator wants us. And He wants us to have a relationship with Him. That's what He wants. We believe in certain things. We believe in divine revelation. We believe in the Torah. We believe in the scriptures. But the scriptures, they need to be taken accordingly. You know, when the Creator took us, the first miracle or the first sign that He sent us in Pesach was to sacrifice the lamb or the kid. You know? Why? To kill the animal. What the Creator was showing to Israel and to the rest of the world. That's what we need to understand. We need to understand that here there are two things. One is what He's telling us, and another is how we respond to Him. Every time that He does something is what He's trying to communicate to us, and the other is how we respond to Him. Let me tell you in a very simple way. These animals represent the gods of Egypt, the god of the super powerful country. Is today, we talk, for example, about, we say, what is the god of the United States, or what is the god of China, what is the god of Russia, no, the empires. And God is going to kill their gods. Of course, in the United States, it's very obvious that it's the Gel Sahab, you know, the golden calf. What is the god of the Russian? Putin. And what is the god of the Chinese? The prime minister of the Chinese, you know? They're slaves. And God is going to say, you know what? They are nothing. That's what the God of Israel was doing on the Pesach time. Kill and eat them. In that way, you're going to eat their gods. In other words, they are nothing. But you need to respond to me. And how you respond to me? You show me that you really are following me. Make these marks. You know, very interesting. It's being used by other religions that this festival is for the forgiveness of sin. It has nothing to do with forgiveness. And I want to tell you something more. If it was the forgiveness of sin, poor Israel wouldn't get out of Egypt. Because was no one in Israel in the moment who said, please forgive me for my sin that has abandoned you. Then that is totally a theological creation. The Pesach is a Shelamin Todah, Sabach. It's a sacrifice of thanksgiving. And what is interesting is, why 7 days? 7 days of matzah. It's not good for your stomach, I know that. It's excruciating. After that, everybody goes to the hospital, I say, no? But you know what? Let's think about that. First of all, I'm going to show you if you got or not, but also I need to deal with you personally. I won't allow you to come out of Egypt pomposos. Look at how good we are. Totally the contrary. Humble yourself because you have done nothing, absolutely nothing, nada, for getting out. Totally the contrary. I took you out against your will. You wanted to stay in Egypt. Don't bother me, Pharaoh, too much. I am happy here. But please, don't be bad. Get out there. Don't be under their power. That is redemption. I am getting you back to me. You are going to be my people. And 7 days of matzah It's going to give you a little bit of humbleness. You are not going to be pop up, but you're going to be flat. And you are going to understand that you are not the one that liberated yourself. I liberated you, say the Lord. Blessed be him. And take it with humble attitude, not with a pompous attitude. 7 days, you're going to learn that you are not who you think you are. Right now, we have a president in the United States that is more full of himself than anybody else. That he like that, you know? Meanwhile, you know who he is, you don't have any problem. But what is the problem? That if all of us we are like that. And we need to learn about ourselves. That is the reason that the greatest slavery, going to repeat at the beginning, is we are the greatest slave holders because we hold ourselves slaves, slave masters. And until you don't defeat that slave master in you, you will never be free. You know, Yeshua said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Very well-known statement. Everybody knows that. Jews, Gentiles, Christians, and even Muslims, they know that statement. You tell it, they know it. They have heard it before. The problem is what is their meaning, what they understand with that. You see, the euphemistic way of the Jewish people at the time of Yeshua, that was the time that it has already, by theological interpretations, I call it, now we couldn't mention the name of the Creator. The Tetragrammaton was not possible to pronounce it anymore. Only once a year in Yom Kippur, according to them. That's totally their traditions. The Creator never said, don't pronounce my name. What he said, don't pronounce my name in vain. It's very different than don't pronounce my name ever. You see how tradition changed the Word of God? And then at that time, it was not any longer possible to pronounce his name. And yet they used euphemistic terms. One of the terms was emet, truth, you know? And another term is about we use other symbol. But he said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Who is the emet? You know, the word emet is a beautiful word in Hebrew. It starts with aleph. The middle letter is men, and the last letter is tav. The first letter of the alphabet, the middle letter, and the last letter, tav. At the beginning, the middle, and the end. That is the Creator. Emet. And that was a way that the Creator will use, that the people would use euphemistic, instead to say the tetragrammaton, Yud-He-Vav-Het, they will use emet. And then what is saying this? You shall know. What does it mean know? You see, if you are a typical Hellenistic Western civilization mentality, to know means acquire knowledge. You know? How many doctrines do you know? What are your real doctrines? But in the Hebrew language, Yodea, to know, what implies is intimate relationship. Adam knew Eve. Abraham knew Sarah, even though he was old. You know? What it means? Intimate relationship. It means to be together, to be one. You shall know the Creator. Then you will have an intimate relationship with the Creator. And that is what's going to give you the freedom to be yourself. It's not about what is your doctrines. It's not about what you believe or don't believe, that's right or wrong in your theological understanding. It's about what do you have here, the kebod, and what is the kavanah, your intention, in your relationship with the Creator. Then, what is really Pesach? Is Pesach is about forgiving sins? No. Pesach is about to giving us an understanding that the Creator is compassionate and He wants the best for us. And the Creator wants to give us freedom to be ourselves. And giving us that freedom, give us the opportunity to act on our own behalf and to be responsible for what we are doing. And not to blame somebody else, not the neighbor. It is my prayer, it's my request to all of you as part of this community that we're trying to disembody ourselves with the hocus pocus and trying to become more tuned to God's revelation, what applies to us as a principle of His Word. Applying the principles, not to be judgmental, but to be honest with ourselves. Because if you cannot be honest with yourself, how can you be honest with others? And how you cannot be honest with yourself, how can you be honest with the Creator? You see, it is a freedom of attachments to human beings that they are going to tell you what to do. Instead, you need to be attached to the Creator. It's very easy to follow a religion. A religion is going to tell you from the beginning to the end, when you are born, what to do, when you need to do. And the only thing that you need to do is to follow the rules. If you don't follow the rules, you are ostracized and you are the party. With the Creator, no, it's not the way. Because with the Creator, it's a constant relationship. Constant relationship. What it means is every day, every moment, I need to be in relationship with Him. Because when I do something, if I do it wrong, I need to go to Him. I need to acknowledge, and I need to make it right. And that's what we call it teshuvah. Teshuvah is coming back to the reality of ourselves, to acknowledge what we have done, and to do the reparation that we need to do, and then we have the relationship with the Creator. How many of us we have committed a divorce with the Creator? How many of us we have said, oh, now I don't want to believe in God because I am an atheist? How many of us we blame God for all the evil things that happen in this world? You know, and look at the different ideas of the atheists and the super religious people. All of them, God is to blame. One day I was working with, counseling a family. You have heard me this before. And one of the children were a problem child. And this child said to the parents, I didn't ask you to be born. It's your responsibility over me. I am not responsible over you. You made me. I didn't ask you to be born. It's your problem. You know, we are blaming the Creator for everything that happened. If you are an atheist, you say, if there is a God, how He can allow all these evil things in this world? It's the Creator who does the evil things. It's us. It's the same thing that this idea about right now, the promotion about this in the United States against guns. You know, I have told everybody, guns don't kill. People kill. Then they say, no, but if you didn't have the gun, you wouldn't kill. No, maybe you don't kill too many like you say, but you're going to get a knife. And you know, for example, right now in Europe, especially in Spain, the most beautiful weapon that they have, what it is? Knife. They like to cut necks and punch everybody, no? You know, from now on, we are going to prohibit the knives. Okay? And for what we call it, the terrorists, you know, that they like to run with trucks. No more trucks, because they kill people. And you know, when we are going to come back to the point that you and I, we are responsible. It's not the truck, it's not the knife, it's not the weapon. It's us. It is time that the Pesach means freedom. Pesach means redemption. Pesach means to be yourself responsible before the Creator. Blessed be His name. Have a wonderful Shabbat, and I am enjoying to be with you. Shabbat shalom.